keeps going, it keeps going, it keeps grinding up. These bullish vibes are just coming out everywhere. Maybe it's getting a little bit hot, but we're going to find out. We're going to take a look at a lot of things today, but I feel like we need to have an altcoin run before we get a big correction here. So what I'm planning is potentially a green weekend, and what we need to look at today: Matic, Injective, Ape, AVAX, ETH, Render, DYDX, XRP, and believe it or not, another dust coin, Litecoin, OTC, is back on my radar. So we're going to talk about that today, guys. Maybe a green weekend coming starting tomorrow. Let's see how we go. So I am running a poll at the moment in the chats. I want to know what you guys are thinking. What are you feeling for this weekend? Do you think it's too obvious that we're going to get an altcoin run, or is BTC going to keep ripping, or are they going to come and send us to zero this weekend? So let me know in the chats what you guys are thinking. Ray, you're going to have to watch that poll for me. I've lost that poll. So you're going to have to come on just now and let me know. And I want to show you guys a little trick that you can use here with Banter Bubbles. So what you want to do, if you want to see BTC strength instead of USDT strength, you can click on the hamburger at the top right here, and you can hit settings and select your currency, and you can choose BTC as your preferred currency there, and it's going to switch over and start looking at these altcoins on strength versus BTC, and you can see a lot of them have been underperforming here a little bit. Oh, I've lost that screen. Okay, so that's what you can do. Banter Bubbles, you can see which ones are strong against BTC, which ones have been lagging. Are we going to get some kind of alt move? So let's look at BTC quickly and see where we are on the magic 8-hour range. It used to be a 4-hour range. Now we're cooking 8 hours, and we're still fighting this big band, this big resistance area that I was a little bit concerned about this week as our potential hot zone, as our potential rejection area for BTC. So we're going to keep our eyes on this area. We're going to watch this one closely. On the bigger picture, on the weekly chart, you can see there's a little spot a little bit higher. Maybe we get a little wick into that. But potentially what I'd like to see here on BTC now is a little bit of consolidation in this area. If anything, they can send it down a little bit lower here, 49,400. But to stay bullish and to stay hyped and to stay excited and to keep things pumping, I would think we don't really want to dip much lower than this 49,300 level. So let's keep our eyes on that. And then backup area, I do have 47K. Do we even want to talk about that right now? I don't even know if we need to talk about that. I know Ray again is starting to talk Bitcoin shorts here, but I'm not ready for 47, Ray. I'm not ready. Not this weekend. They're not allowed to. Okay, let's look at what's going on in the news here. And I was just loving this tweet. I saw this was actually from yesterday, but they're saying all the boomers. Okay, now remember, these are all the grannies and the grandpas, all these boomers. They came in and they bought these Bitcoin ETFs at 39K, and this is how they're feeling. Can you imagine? These guys are used to making like 10% per annum, 15% per annum, maybe even less, like 4 or 5%. They keep their cash nice and safe. Now they've bought some BTC at 39 and they're bossing us around now, running the show. So good for them, good for the boomer team there, buying their BTC at 39K. They must be feeling pretty good at the moment. Then we've got JP Morgan. Now, isn't this the biggest contradiction? The other day, literally a few days ago, JP Morgan was short on Coinbase, and now they've changed their mind. All of a sudden, we got a BTC pump, and suddenly JP Morgan said, okay, cool. Now we're bullish again. So that's interesting news. Then we had Cathie Wood from ARK. She sold her Coinbase shares. Now they've got earnings coming out later today, but she sold her shares before earnings. So I found that quite interesting that she's offloading her Coinbase stock. But let's look at the chart. It opened quite well at the moment, so nothing to be too concerned about. And remember, with Bitcoin flying and all this crypto flying and the bullishness in the air, we know Coinbase is collecting fees. They're making money, and for me, there's no reason to be bearish on Coinbase at all right now. Let's see what the earnings deliver later today. But for me, I think bigger targets in store, especially if we're going to get a strong run here on BTC and some of these altcoins. Okay, let's look at this bigger picture. So bigger picture BTC, again, nothing's really changed here. On the weekly, this is this area, this 53,271 is a rejection zone of interest to me. That is where we've had weekly pings from multiple candles here. So it's a weekly level and a potential rejection area. Now, depending on the size of the rejection, that's going to affect us, and that's going to affect or damage some of our altcoins. So the first thing you want to do now is take a look at this dominance chart, and this has been absolutely critical for us. And this dominance rejection is going to be the most important thing. If we're going to have altcoin fun this weekend, and I'm talking from maybe early tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if we're going to get a proper run here, we need this dominance to behave, and we need this dominance to start dropping. So I've been talking about this level for many days now, but this is my big area. I still want to see one more push of dominance into this resistance area, this 54.5. I'd love to see one more push into there, and then this weekend they just come and they give us this dominance rejection, and we are going to be flashing P&Ls all over the place. The bears are going to get slaughtered. Well, that's my dream. That's my dream world where I think we're going to be. So eyes on this dominance. This is going to be key for any moves. And if BTC is going to pull back, keep it simple, nothing too big, nice little tight range, and then we're going to unlock some of these altcoins. Now, guys, yesterday I was so proud of myself saying that I remembered all the tokens I want to show you. And one of the big trades yesterday that I wanted to give you was DYDX, and I absolutely forgot. So forgive me. So the first thing I'm going to do today is show you this DYDX setup that I had ready for you guys yesterday, and then I didn't get to show you. So let's pull this DYDX out. And what I want to show you here, this is a massive weekly trend break, and it's a potentially a huge trade. This is a long-term trade. This is suited mainly for spot traders, but what I'm looking at here is a potential upside target, and again, this could take a very long time. This could take months to play out. For DYDX, this could take up to a year potentially, but I've got a 272% move here upside that I'm looking at for DYDX, and yeah, so I've started getting involved. DYDX, that's a big one for me. What do we have? What do I like about it? Well, we've broken the 50-day moving average. We've broken a major weekly trend here, and we are starting to tick upwards. So I've added multiple TP zones of interest here for you guys for DYDX. The first one is roughly about, from this current position, it's roughly 34% away. Next one, 100% away. Next one, 180%. And then the big dog right at the top, you're looking at about 250%. So if you're interested in DYDX, this is suited for a spot type trade, and areas of interest and areas of exit if things turn really horrible out here in the market, and you know, which we're not really expecting anything too serious. I mean, we're expecting pullbacks, but we're not expecting, you know, complete wreckage, losing 200-day moving averages, closing underneath. So if it does do that, we need to just understand, where do we exit these positions? Where do we fire up new ones and things like that? So the first area you can watch for an exit zone is if we close under the 50-day moving average. That's always a nice marker for us for these altcoins. So your first potential exit area, 2.8. If you close under 2.8, that's a potential close for you on this DYDX position. And then your next one would be a close under the 200-day moving average. So if you close under round about 2.5, if you get that candle close under there round about 2.5, then, you know, DYDX potentially looking a little bit sad and wants to trend a little bit lower. But I would say if DYDX is sub 200-day moving average, the market is not in a good position here and not looking good. So maybe don't want to be hanging around then if we do start losing that area. Okay, so that is the DYDX setup. And sorry, I dropped you guys. I know a lot of you were scrolling through the video looking for DYDX, and I completely forgot to give it to you. So there it is. Right, what else do I have for you? So the big dog at the moment, need to talk about this. We can't stop talking about this. ETH, it's just relentless now. There's so much ETH narrative happening, and we just keep going. It keeps grinding and grinding, and making its way to our 3,400 to 3,500 target level. So I wanted to show you an interesting tweet that I found, and it's actually quite a scary looking tweet because it gives you these bullish feelings. It gives you these vibes, and you start feeling like this intense FOMO. So we must just remember, we need to just check ourselves all the time. Just understand how we're feeling here. You know, there's guys around here in the office that are so maxed out long at the moment that it's actually pretty scary. And we just need to keep a balance here. So when we see things like that, the first feeling is absolute FOMO. FOMO, and you know that ETH, they want to send ETH to 7,000 here, according to this chart, and it could well happen. But remember, you don't want to be over leveraged on the first date, if you know what I mean. BTC's just pumped 52k. We've literally kissed on our first date. Do you want to get wiped out immediately? So you don't want to be over leveraged in a situation like this. So try and just keep a balanced approach and a balanced view here, and always understand your levels, understand your areas. Where are you getting out? If things turn dirty, where do you exit? Where do you jump? And always have that in your sights when you are setting up trades and things like that. It's all fun and games while the market is ripping and the market is pumping. But if you're running cross accounts and you're running leverage accounts and things like that, and things start turning on you, you're going to see, you're going to get squeezed out very quickly, and you're going to feel some pain that you don't necessarily need to feel. So just a reminder, guys, FOMO is a dangerous thing here, and let's just stick to levels, key areas, and don't overtrade here. Okay, ETH on the 12-hour, what you need to watch. Big area here, 2.7. This is now our major level. This is a key zone for us now. If we're going to get a BTC pullback to that 236 fib that I showed you guys, that's where we want to be for ETH. We don't really want to be much lower than that. We want to just keep this vibe going here. Even if they give us that flag that I was trying to put together yesterday, even if they give us something along these lines, we'll be happy. As long as we're holding this 2.7. Absolute emergency, if they want to wick us lower, it's 2.550, but that's emergency levels there. We don't want to go much lower than that. So 2.7 is my big area that I've got my eyes on for ETH currently. Okay, let's update Matic. Also looking good, moving on ETH strength, that sort of thing. So if you are in this Matic trade, we are nearly at our TP1. This thing is grinding up slowly. So no major changes here, no new entries on Matic at the moment. What I can suggest is if you are in this long, you're probably well in profit now. And now is probably a good time to start raising your stop to entry just to de-risk. And I actually need to do that. I've got this trade open right now on 2bit, and you can see there's a nice little wick here on the 15 minutes. They've just given a little flash out there for the late longest. So I do have a stop in place here, so you can see it is there. It says view my record, so there it is. There is a stop in place in batches here for Matic, so I do have it ready in that zone. And just make sure you have stop losses in place for these type of things. So that is my current 2bit trade, guys. If you haven't tried 2bit, give it a go. There is a link in the description. I've actually got the description here for you guys, so I've highlighted it here. This is under the show, and you can see what we got here. I've got a whole shopping basket here for you. I've got Prime XBT, which I'm going to show you just now. I've got 2bit, we've got Easy Algo, we've got the Sniper Club. So that's where you can find all these links that I'm always talking about in the show. So if I'm telling you link in the description, this is where they are, and that's where you're going to find it. Okay, so eyes on Matic. Let's see, we're approaching TP1, getting there slowly, and a long way to go, but we could see TP2 this weekend if things start playing into our hands. Okay, some bullish news on AVAX. You know, we're in an AVAX long as well, and you know, this bullish news keeps coming out, and this was yesterday, but bull market vibes now. We're going to start seeing a lot of positivity, a lot of like bullish energy, all the stuff's happening, and it's very difficult to, you know, to not feel that FOMO. So again, we just got to be structured here, and we got to understand where we're buying and all these things. We don't want to buy tops. We want to buy good areas, good entry zones, and things like that. So what I can do for you on AVAX, we've already pinged our TP1, which was this region over here. This was around about this 41 level. Now a big test coming for AVAX. What you want to see here, you don't want to see a dip much deeper than this 382. I wouldn't want to go much lower than this 39.8 region. So eyes on this 39.8 region. If we can hold this area here, then we are looking at our next TP at 47. So no reason why we won't keep grinding up here if BTC is behaving. These altcoins should just slowly, organically start pushing up. But if BTC just gives us a breather there and we lose that dominance, then we're really going to get some proper moves here. So big level for me here, AVAX. You don't want to lose 39.8. Anything down to that region should be buyable if we are staying bullish here. So eyes on this level here for Matic upside. 47, 48, expect a rejection there, expect a reaction there. If you are long AVAX, expect something to happen in that area. If you have a longer term view, that's a different story. But if you are trading leverage and these type of things, make sure you're taking something off at these key reaction zones, these big reaction points on these altcoins, because we know we get these rejections in these areas. So just an update here. Here are my current trades that I'm running on Prime XBT, and I'm going to talk to you about the two fresh ones that I've just added there today. I've started building positions on XRP and Litecoin. Let's see how that's going to go. I'm going to take you through those setups. I'm going to tell you why I'm interested in these. And I mean, I find it hilarious because yesterday I was ripping off the XRP army, and here I am today looking at an XRP long because suddenly it's looking a little bit bullish. So it's amazing how the wheel can turn. But here we are. So potential XRP and LTC longs coming up that I'm going to show you about. And this is the SOL and AVAX positions that I have running at the moment. Prime XBT, again, link in the description. There's a 7% sign up bonus there. Tried and tested. You put $5,000 in there, they're giving you 7% to trade with. You put 10,000 in there, they're giving you 700 that you can open a position with. And tried and tested there. So give it a run, Prime XBT. They are growing their list of tokens. So right now it is a little bit limited here. But if you want to trade Litecoin and XRP and take these trades with me, good place to test it. Prime XBT, and you can use that free money that they're giving you to open these positions, to open positions of the dust coins, the ones where the dust comes out of the screen when we start clicking on it. So let's look at XRP. Let me explain my thinking behind this. So yesterday we looked at XRP in depth, and I gave you my views, I gave you my thoughts, and the first area has been pinged. It happened a lot quicker than we expected. We pinged this 50-day moving average very quickly, and we got our rejection. So that is what we were looking for. So now, ideally, what we want as XRP bulls, if we are trading XRP now, what we want to do is we want to be able to buy this retest into this box. So we want to buy anything dipping into these horizontals. So if you see that it's just touching the box, it doesn't mean go in full size with your position. It just means start laddering in to a potential position here. Expect some kind of pullback on XRP into this area, and pullbacks for me on XRP are for buying down to 0.5380. So if you get pullbacks down to 0.5380, these are areas that you're looking for potential buys. So the plan is going to be, let me just clean up these arrows here. So basically what we're looking for here, there's two options. Right now we blow straight out. I'm looking for a rejection at the 200-day moving average. Then I'm looking for that retest buy that we can grab. Alternatively, we are looking for this current rejection that we're getting now, and we are looking for buys down to this horizontal region. Then we want to send it up, and then we can play that secondary move again off that 200-day moving average. So these are the possible plans available for XRP. And remember, if you ladder in your buys and you stagger in your buys, your stop loss risk becomes exponentially smaller. So what you want to do is always lower your average entry. So if you have a nice big potential buy box, and you have your first buy at the top, but you have your main buy middle or lower down at the bottom, your stop loss that was 4% is suddenly going to move to about 2 to 2.5%, and it's just going to lower your risk of the trade. Now, what do we do if things turn south with XRP? Well, it's quite simple. If things turn south here, it means we're losing a trend, and things are potentially looking a little bit bearish. So that's why I've put a stop loss region here for you. Anything under 0.5277. If we get a close under that area, for me, it's telling me things aren't looking good out there. Maybe it's time to step back and take a break from the market and XRP in general. So if we lose 0.527, that is what you're looking at as your exit area. But right now, for me, looking for buys, anything in this region. And let's just take a look at 𝗔𝗔𝗀𝗀𝗅. Yeah, so you can see 𝗔𝗔𝗀𝗅𝗀 has given us, they've shown us that XRP is already above this weekly pivot. So that is a good sign. It has tested and it's bounced off that weekly pivot. So that is a good guide for us as well. I'm talking so fast here. I need to see who's in the chats. I need to see my people here. There's someone called Mom, Market Dumping, Pyth. I don't know whose mom that is. It's not my mom. It's not my mom. My mom doesn't know much about crypto. She says she watches me, but doesn't know what I'm talking about. But I think she just supports. Conan says XRP needs God. I love that. I absolutely love that. What else we got? Infern says an update on ADA while the dust coins are really coming out here. Anubis wants an update on Dupe. Yeah, Dupe, guys, Dupe is looking good. That took off yesterday. We had a nice little setup there on Dupe, and it's working for us as far as I can see. So hopefully some of you guys got that. Let me know. Who else have we got here in the chats? We got Burrito Burrito Nom Nom is loving Gala. Gaming things are working, guys. Gaming narrative is looking good. Philip says Scallop is pumping. What else we got? Eric says I second Dragos. He's talking about something in here. Eric says Dupe is trash. Look, there's mixed views here, but at the end of the day, a pump is a pump, and we don't have to get too fussy about what's moving and what's not. Mark's asking about Bonk. I do have a Bonk set up for you guys. Bull is another setup. Okay, cool. So guys, remember something really important is happening tomorrow. I've got 2 meme coins to show you today. Okay, but tomorrow is the banger meme coin show that I'm putting together for you guys. And we are going DGen vibes tomorrow. We're looking at multiple meme coins. We're going to cover all your favorite meme coins. And I'm also going to bring you some surprise projects, some smaller projects, some projects that can send you to zero, some projects that can 20x you. And just make sure you are tuned in tomorrow, 5:30 my time, that's SA time. Make sure you are ready and, ready to go full DGen. I'm going to show you tomorrow how to buy these things as well and the various exchanges that you can do it on. So make sure you are tuned in there, and we'll cover these meme coins for you. Lots of questions about Injective. I've got that. Fahad says the FOMO is hitting me. Guys, yeah, FOMO is a thing. It's a proper thing here, and we need to just need to stay calm. Okay, last bull market I was there. We traded that last bull market, and you get caught up in green candles and you start taking positions you shouldn't be taking, and then you look back after getting stopped out and you think, shit, if I was just a little bit more patient, if only I listened to that guy on YouTube. Well, I wasn't there on YouTube, but now I'm here, so listen to me. And I'm going to guide you through this as best as I can so you don't make the mistakes that we all made in the last bull run, getting too much FOMO. Cunning George says, let us see your Ponky. I think Ponky's looking good. We're saving that for tomorrow, Cunning George. We're going to bring Ponky. We're going to bring a lot of things tomorrow, so just be patient. Okay, let's get stuck into some more of these setups. What have I got here? Oh, Lido update, some more bullish news on Lido. We spoke about Lido yesterday. I just want to update you guys again. Lido is still sitting in a nice little region, so if you grab that entry on Lido yesterday that I was giving you, you are most likely up. But again, most biggest support you want to watch for Lido is still the 3 level. So eyes on the 3 level. Keep an eye on some kind of flag here, some kind of consolidation, anything like that. If it's going to settle down, that's what you want. Otherwise, we're just cooking straight into the 3.5. So that is what you're watching. Your support is 3. Your upside for this move, 3.5. So eyes on that. And just remember, these bullish vibes, these bullish news articles, they're coming out everywhere. And we just need to understand what the game is here. Okay. Some bullish news on Bonk, and I said I was going to bring this to you guys, but I've saved Whiff and a lot of these things for tomorrow. We're really going to get dirty tomorrow. But so Bonk, there's a proposal to list Bonk on European Bank FinTech. It's all been approved anyway. Bullish for Bonk. They're doing lots of bullish things, and let's look at the Bonk chart. Let's see. Maybe there's an entry here, maybe not. Maybe it's priced in. But what I can give you is a potential zone of interest. And remember, these meme coins, ideally you want to be buying these things spot. You don't want to get too dirty in leverage and things like that. You want to really want to just be around, because they move you down 20%, they pump you up 40%, and it's very difficult to play that game. If you're doing 5x leverage, 10x leverage, that type of thing, you're just going to get flushed out a lot of the time. So you need to understand the size of the moves that these guys are giving you. But what do we have for Bonk right now? Okay, well, there's a potential 382 horizontal and trend retest right now on Bonk. Is that bullish? Potentially. Trend break, okay, retest, always a good area to take a look. And if you are DCAing, well, this is the 12-hour chart. And if you bullish on Bonk long term, like I am, for example, Bonk's going to be in my bag for the next 12 to 18 months. No reason to start selling this thing. You want to look at areas like this. You want to look at solid horizontals. You want to test these zones. So your first area here, multiple zeros, 135. That's a potential buy area. And then your next big support for Bonk is multiple zeros, 122. So these are both hot DCA zones. These are both hot areas here, and potentially more upside here for Bonk if they're unlocking to a massive community here. And remember, we've seen Whiff and we've seen all these SOL tokens that are going to be ripping on any strength that we see in Solana. I mean, we've just seen Myro do probably another 100%. We've seen WIF do about what, 60 to 80% in the last couple of days. So there is a lot of strength here on these coins. And remember, just accumulate these. If you're bullish on these meme coins long term, accumulate them on good areas and look for these good zones. So there's your first one, and then lower down, nice juicy horizontal there at that 0.122. Vim is looking for Aptos. Yeah, Aptos was pumping today. I actually tweeted about Aptos today, guys. There's my Twitter account. Follow me on Twitter at the Lord of Entry, and I tweeted about it, and there it is, Aptos weekly, talking about targets and things like that. So if you're not seeing me on the show and you're not seeing me in Sniper Club and things like that, what you can do is follow me on Twitter. Obviously way less content, but there is content there. I even posted this repost from yesterday when we were talking about retail coming to the market. And okay, there's another one. There's another teaser that I posted there for you guys. A trade setup. Here it is. Ape. Okay. Bullish news on Ape. Okay, they are getting involved in multiple things. They've moved their project onto a chain. Fundamental guys, let me know. Was it Arbitrum? From what I understand, the market seems to like that news on Apecoin. So what do we want? What are we looking for on Apecoin? We are looking at a potential 50% move here for Apecoin on the break of this trend. So this is the 3-day chart. Okay, so Ape has been absolutely abused here, but what I can give you might be a nice little spot buy for you guys. Big support here, 1.45. That's a massive support area. We've got the 50-day moving average. We've got the 200-day moving average. We've got horizontals here at 1.45. So any moves down to this region for me on Ape, strong zone, strong support zone. That's a zone for buying. And then again, if we get this break now on Ape, we can look for that rejection at the horizontal, and then we can also be looking for any buys on that follow-up retest that we're going to get for it. So there's a nice little play here for Ape on the table, 50% potential move here, and support areas that you want to watch. Again, you can watch the current 3-day candle as a potential exit zone. So that is your first area you can watch. Let's call it 1.53 as a potential exit area, and then your next exit area would be close and loss of these moving averages. So you're looking at about 1.44. If you close under that 1.44, then things are really looking stiff, and you know, maybe we should be out of that Ape token. Okay, Injective. I see people are screaming about Injective. There might be a little dip in the market here. Ray, do we have a little dip here? What's going on?
I told you better hedge it. I told you.
Let's see. BTC update. Okay. So again, this is not a dip, guys. For those of you new to the market, this is not a dip. Yeah, a 5% is a dip. This is just somebody sneezed. Okay, so there's nothing to panic about yet. But remember, when you see a dip like this, what do? You got to look at dominance. You got to see how are these altcoins responding to the Bitcoin dip. Okay, so that's the first thing you want to do. So you see Bitcoin dumping, you want to know if dominance is pumping, these alts are getting absolutely shafted. If dominance is dumping, then these alts are trying to hold. They are dropping for sure, but they're trying to hold. They're not dropping as badly as they could be. So always the first thing you do, the first thing I do is always flick over to dominance just to try and gauge the size of the dumpage. And you can see so far, dominance is coming down while we're having a little BTC dip. So that means the alts are responding a little bit in a positive way. Okay, Dawn Whitehead wants INJ. Now, before I brought on INJ, I was actually going to tell you guys it had a head and shoulders and was looking a little bit bearish. Okay, so let me just show you why I thought it was looking a bit bearish. Let's just zoom in here. So this was my argument that I had for Injective. We were rejecting off the 50-day moving average, and we had left shoulder. Oh, they've taken my pen away. They've taken my pen away at the wrong time. Okay, there we go. It's back. Okay, left shoulder. There it is. Head, right shoulder. Okay, so it was looking a little bit sad on the 4-hour. It was telling us that it might want to come down. Now, remember, from past experience, Injective likes to do a little bit of its own thing. And we've seen Injective pump in bearish conditions. We've seen Injective do strange things in bullish conditions and all these types of things. So don't worry about Injective. We know long-term Injective is a power play. Injective is going to be an absolute banger here. So if you're holding spot positions on Injective, nothing to stress about. What you have now is probably quite an overdue little flush out of stops. Okay, so anyone who's been buying this region here, they know, the market makers, everybody knows their stop losses under the zone. So what do they like to do? They like to hold that area and then they come and they flush out the stop. So this is your first area of interest now. We've got our 618. You can see we're reacting on the 618 and horizontal. So this is our first area we're watching, 33.4. Okay, so in Sniper Club today, I was actually saying, look out for a wick on Injective to this 33 region at the 618 in case they want to come and flush you out. So take note of this support region now. If we lose this and we start closing lower down, we have major protection here on Injective at 30 down to about 28. We've got a weekly fib pool and we've got some strong areas in this region. So if we get down to that region, that's a buy zone. 1000% is where you want to be buying XRP and starting to add to your bags there if we do get that meltdown. So let's just zoom out here and just look at this. Remember, we are in quite a big range here, and we've seen Link do the same thing, sit in a range. So let it play the game, let it play the range game, let it sit in this area, let it come down here if it wants to, see what happens up here. But once we blow this range, that's when the fun is really going to happen. And we saw it with Link, we saw it with a lot of these other tokens. And let's just be patient here with Injective. Understand, we could get a bounce at that 618 right now, and that could hold for us. But if we lose it, again, nothing to panic about. We've got 30, we're down to 28, solid areas for us, solid zones that we can look at there for Injective. So don't stress about it. Okay, let's see what else we got. The jungle says Tia Dill joke with us. I think if we got time, I'm going to pull up Tia for you. Let me just make sure, guys. I don't want a situation where I miss all these tokens that I promised you that I was going to cover. Okay, Doge. Now, Doge has been pumping, and something you need to note here is these altcoins, once they start breaking the 50-day moving average. So this is why I have this 50-day on all my charts. Get it on your charts. This 50-day moving average, as simple as it sounds, a 200-day moving average, a 50-day moving average, simple moving average. It sounds so simple, but literally it is that simple. Have it on your charts. Look where these things go. When they're blowing this 50-day, these altcoins are rocketing, and they're really moving off these areas, and they're treating this 50-day as resistance. They're treating it as support. So eyes on this 50-day for everything for all your charts. That's where you need it. Now, Doge, look at this right now. We've pumped straight into resistance. So if you were long Doge, that is your first TP zone, 0.88. This is a TP zone for Doge. Now, remember, Doge was boring. We've been watching Doge probably for 2 weeks in Sniper Club, with basically my updates on the Doge trade were long from anything down here. And literally every day it was like, no changes, no changes, no changes. All they did was just do this to us. And then out of nowhere, Doge has come and given us a little bit of fire, and it's actually making me wonder about XRP and Litecoin. As terrible as it sounds that I'm talking about XRP and Litecoin, I think we need to discuss it, because the grannies and the grandpas could be coming back again. And remember, that's what they have on their apps. They open their apps and they say, what is crypto? Oh, 8 years ago, I bought Litecoin. Oh, let me buy Litecoin. 8 years ago, I bought XRP. Remember, my cousin made money on XRP. Well, that's what they're going to do. They're going to go buy XRP and all of these old dusty coins. So keep that in mind, and let's look at that. But it's true. Ray, but am I wrong? Is it the voice?
Right. I mean, you might be
Is it
right.
the voice?
I don't know. It's a good point.
I do like an old granny voice nicely. Okay, let's focus on what we're doing here. Okay, so Doge rejecting, nice little rejection area. Okay, makes perfect sense here. Where are we looking for support? Where's our next buy? Doge is looking bullish now. What do we do? So your next hot zone here for Doge, 0.082. If you get this move for Doge into this area here, that's where you're going to be buying. They didn't give me that pen. There it is. Okay, 0.082. That's a nice little hot zone there for Doge. If you do get that gift from them, that's where you're looking, because now you've got 618 support, and you've got 50-day moving average, and you've got some horizontals there. So quite a nice little level of confluence there. Kurt says it's a good granny voice. Guys, I don't know. I just like to emulate the grannies and things. Okay, let's see. So there's people saying things are dipping here in the chats. And all these things. Okay, so yeah, maybe a little flush out, but remember, these are generally opportunities. Do they really want to come and kill us and ruin all our fun before we get a weekend party? Here comes the dominance coming down still, so eyes on this dominance. Always just zoom into this dominance when you're panicking, when you're feeling unsure. Look at the dominance. Okay, let's go. DYDX I've covered. Render. Next one for you, Render. Okay, Render's looking good. Listing on Coinbase coming for Render. So some news. The trend tells me we might just chill for a little bit longer. Okay, let's see how we go here in this region for Render. But big support that you want to watch, 4.8. This is your big area. You watch the zone. That's where you need to be looking at Render. Buys down to 4.8. If things are turning bearish, what happens? We lose the trend. We pump back up. We look for those potential shorts if you want to short a super bullish market, and then you look at your lower target. So right now, big support for me, Render, 4.8. Next level you're watching, 4.27. I see Anta's in the chats here. I don't know how these paid messages work here, but he's in the chats here. He's dropped something here. There, what does it say? Let's see if we can find this message here. There. Ants in the chats there. 𝗧350. Not sure what that means. Okay, let's go. Super entry. That's a good question. Filecoin. Guys, Filecoin's in Sniper Club. I updated regularly. Philip, are we banged straight into resistance? I was watching it today. Straight into resistance. So you want to look TPs at your big resistance zone. Let's go. Guys, I want to make sure I don't forget anything. I was so embarrassed. I told you guys I'd remember everything, and then I didn't give you the DYDX yesterday. It was terrible. Terrible performance. Okay. XRP. This is the play. We've covered XRP. Right. Litecoin. This is the play. Oh, okay. It's on now. Now it's on for Litecoin. Okay. This is the big buy zone right now for Litecoin. If this thing's going to hold, you need it to hold the 200-day moving average and the 50-day moving average. If you're buying it here, your stop is next to nothing. Your risk is super, super low here. This is a huge area. I'm going to zoom in here. Okay, these are your stop options. If you like Litecoin, if you think this thing can be bullish and this thing can move, this is an area of interest. We've got the 200-day moving average. We've got the 50-day moving average. We've got a rising trend in this area. We've also got a 382 in the zone. Let's look at 𝗂𝗓𝗔 as well. We are just hanging on to the weekly pivot on 𝗂𝗓𝗔. So right now, this is a very low risk area of interest here for Litecoin. If we lose this region, your next zone of interest is going to be around 69. If I lose the 69 level, I'm out of this Litecoin trade. I'm done with the dust. I'm finished with it. You can see they're dumping on us right now, Ray. So hot zone for us here, right here. Anything in this region is good for us. Let's just look at the size of the stop. Okay, so if you're getting an average entry in this region here, your tightest stop is going to be like 0.7%, and but you're not really giving yourself a chance. Your next stop, 2.2% here, and we're looking for a close under that region. And then things are bearish again. Then, things aren't looking good for Litecoin. I'm very surprised that Litecoin has been so dead over the last couple of weeks. And it really has done absolutely nothing if you look at this chart as to what's going on. So risk right now, if you're buying Litecoin right now, your risk is something like 0.7% as your first stop option. Your next stop option is 0.2, and you lose that area, then things are gross out there. We don't want to be sitting in a position underwater. It's not a great feeling, and we jump out. We wait for our next entry, and we play that game. We just be patient there. Okay, let's see what else is here. Nira shouting Sol. We cover Sol a lot. I just didn't have Sol on my list today because we talk about it so much. Chad says, how about this weekend? Everything pumps. How about that? Everything about that. Well, Chad, let's see. Let's see if we get a nice little pump this weekend. This could be a little dip for us that is going to give us our move. Ray says, learn to hedge the bull. Yeah, he's not wrong, but I don't like shorting. I don't like shorting a bull market. It hurts. It hurts too much, Ray. Other than your ego, it also hurts your feelings.
You know how to deal with the horns, man. You know how to ride it.
So let me give you an example. A friend of mine today was looking, shorting this thing. Okay. What happens? It just rips through. Okay. This is a typical example of what these altcoins can do to you. If you're trying to get clever with altcoins, you're trying to short them. A friend of mine was trying to short this thing. Okay. It's absolutely blown him, smashed him. Okay. So just remember, you don't want to be smarter than the market. If the trend is up, why do you want to fight the trend? Let's just play the trend. Let it pull back. Let it pull back into our nice baskets. Let it wait for our nice areas. You know these areas I love. Let's wait for these zones. Let it drop back. We'll buy the long. We'll send it higher. Okay. And as long as this trend is up and the market is super bullish, why do you want to swim against the tide? Why do you want to be in like a rip current and try and swim the other way? You know. Yes, Yanko again. He says he shorted BTC at 50K and he got wrecked. Mustn't get too clever, guys. And remember, the moves that we're looking for, we're not looking for massive moves on BTC pullbacks and things like that. Obviously, we need to be aware with the open interest and stuff, we could get a mega move down on BTC. We could get a 10-15% drop. But it feels to me like we need to have an altcoin pump first. We really need to get retail involved. We need to take in the late longers. We need to get all that stuff going for them to get a proper reason to come and flush out the market. And right now, it's not feeling like we are in the right zone to flush out the market. Obviously, I could be completely wrong and they come and wreck us tonight. And I wake up and I show you guys my trades tomorrow and they all stopped out. I mean, that's going to hurt my feelings a lot. But, you know, my thoughts here are we're not at that FOMO stage yet, where everyone is just aping in, where we're seeing these massive candles on Solana, on AVAX, Phantom, all these things. We need to see that first for me before we get that major flush out. But again, we protect ourselves. We don't over leverage. Remember, if you're watching the show, you're not doing that. Okay, you're not over leveraging like everyone else aping in, because I'm telling you, I've been there. We've done it. It's not a good feeling when they come and flush you. It ruins all your good work and all your good entries. Let's see. Away says spell update. Let's see where we are here. Let's go. Okay, so Apecoin we've covered. ARC. Okay, here's an interesting one. Okay, so this is an 𝗤𝗓𝗐𝗪 trade that I did today in conjunction with 𝗤𝗓𝗐𝗪. So guys, again, in the description there is a link for 𝗤𝗓𝗐𝗪. There's a special on for you guys for watching the show. It's a 3-day free trial as well for you. Now, 𝗤𝗓𝗐𝗪, what does it do? It gives us pivot areas. It gives us areas of interest where we can look for longs and we can look for shorts and all these things. So what we want to do is identify these zones. So the first thing you do is you pull up the 𝗤𝗓𝗐𝗪 and you hit view. And what I can see here on this ARC trade is that we've got 𝗤𝗓𝗐𝗪 is showing that we are above the monthly pivot, which are the red lines. We are above the weekly pivot, which are the yellow lines for me, and we are above the 50-day moving average as well, and we are breaking a trend. So for me, there's multiple reasons here why this is potentially a bullish move brewing for this ARC token. So if you're interested in 𝗤𝗓𝗐𝗪, grab the link in the description there and use it in confluence with what you are trading and how you are trading. So fortunate for me, this is now worked out on the 50-day MA and the trend break and things like that. So there's multiple reasons why I've taken a long here on this ARC at the moment. So let's see how it goes. Upside target here is 42%. That's your upper resistance band, and then your lower resistance band is around about 19%. So that is the size of the move we're looking for. I do have it open here in MEXC at the moment. So let's see if this refreshes here. Let's see where we are. These are the current MEXC trades. Okay, so the spell trade is flat. They asked for an update on the spell trade. Spell trade is flat. ARC trade is a little bit underwater. The RV and the ETH trade, they're still cooking. So no reason to do anything rash just yet. We pay attention to our stop losses and things like that, and we exit in the right zones. That ton trade was the trade we gave yesterday in Sniper Club. and that seems to be going okay. It is flat at the moment, but if you guys have been watching Run Show with that ton trade, you know you guys are all busy now clicking the buttons. You've signed up to that not coin and you're clicking all the buttons and you're doing all those things. So that's quite bullish for that ton coin. So that's why we went with a long there. Ray, have I remembered all my tokens here?
Yeah, we just haven't talked about the vote situation.
Oh, tell me, what is the vote situation here?
So pretty split. 52% say BTC chills and alts rip. We got 21% saying BTC pumps, and 27% saying it's dump time.
27% calling a dump. Okay, that's not unreasonable. 52% calling a weekend pump.
Alts rip. Alts rip.
Look, again, I can just give you my view. Okay, my view is that we need a green killer weekend after this BTC move that we've had the last few days. We need a green weekend. That's what I'm looking for. I'm watching that dominance nonstop. Now, remember, guys, tomorrow we are trading meme coins and all sorts of things. I'll do a BTC analysis. We'll cover that tomorrow, obviously, and any urgent things happening we'll obviously deal with. If the market's ripping or dumping, we're going to deal with it urgently tomorrow. But we're going to do a nice big segment on these meme coins. And if this market's going to be bullish, like it or not, these meme coins are coming back. They're going to be part of the show. These meme coins are going to be part of this bull run. They're going to be massive in this bull run, and you want to know, you want to have an edge, you want to be involved in some of these meme coins. So make sure you are watching. Ray, thanks for hanging. Make sure you are watching tomorrow. I'm organizing 1 or 2 special guests. I'm trying. I might even get one of the Banter researchers on here. He's an absolute savage and a meme coin savage. And yeah, I'm trying to get him on here. So let's see what transpires, what I can get for you guys tomorrow. Catch you later.